Trap squad, 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 trap squad. Hey, clickbaity political. Yeah, thirst trap, trap squad, squirrel squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. Yeah. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let a voice be heard. Every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Yeah. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbaity. Yeah. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad. Let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad, thirst trap. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad. Let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad, thirst trap.
Yo. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. I am one half of your Clickbaity crew, the dynamic duo of Mondale Robinson, and I am Marcus Farrell, coming all the way to you live on a Tuesday morning from somewhere in America, somewhere in Atlanta, Georgia. I got to kill my DJ Tunde. I couldn't hear the Trap Squad anthem this morning, man. That normally gets me hype. I know it gets everybody else hype. I still love you, Tunde, but man, well, we got to fix that. That's my startup music right there. No, we're gonna get into it. I don't know where Mondale is. I think Mondale is actually traveling right now, which is perfectly fine because next week I'm going to be off and he's going to be on because we all have things going on. But welcome to another episode of Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. We have a couple of things to get into, but the first thing that I want to get into this morning is a plea to Black America. Before I start my plea to Black America, Sun Queen, Bradley, Tango Jordan, Brother Tango out of Jacksonville, Janice, Coco Flowers, Ursula, everybody in a trap room. Would you remove those things so I can see Tunde? Everybody in the chat. Yeah, there you go. Susan, C. Malisk. Good morning to everybody who's in the trap room right now. We appreciate you. Go get the vaccine. That's right. Go get vaccinated. Stop with the Hotep stuff. Herd immunity will never work if new variants keep dropping. But what I want is, I have a plea to Black America this morning. I want to make sure that I think this out and say it completely straight so everybody understands. I have a plea to Black America. Black America, you desperately need to break up with neoliberalism. You need to break up with neoliberalism. It doesn't even need to be an argument. It doesn't need to be a fight. We don't have to embarrass ourselves in public. We don't have to, we don't have to call up our big brother or our sister to get them to beat up neoliberalism because we've been in a relationship with them for so long. We don't need to scratch neoliberalism's car. We don't need to. We do need to go silent on them, though. We do need to give them the silent treatment forever. Just no contact. There's no contact. We need to break up with neoliberalism, Black America. We need to break up with neoliberalism right now, and it's a good time to do it because we're not dependent on neoliberalism, right? Neoliberalism does not pay our bills, right? Neoliberalism is a toxic relationship that beats us up and has us having to call a police department that won't help us out. Neoliberalism puts us in predicaments where we're in the hood and we think that we're living big time, but we're not. Neoliberalism causes crime. Neoliberalism is a very ratchet thing for Black America to be in a relationship with. We got to break up with neoliberalism, Black folks. Listen, if you're ever in a bad relationship, you know, one thing about being in a bad relationship is that that your significant other will gaslight the hell out of you. Peace, Iran. Will gaslight the living crap out of you. Neoliberalism uses capitalism, torches, and pitchforks. Like, let me just make sure that we get that straight, right? But they will gaslight you, and they'll make you think that they're doing everything they can for you to have a healthy, thriving relationship, when in actuality, in a toxic relationship, it ends up giving you gray hairs, extra stress. You can't breathe. You having a hard time at work. You're making bad decisions at home. You're making bad financial decisions. You don't save any money. You spend most of your time arguing and bickering. And that is what neoliberalism has done to the black community. Is the answer democratic socialism? I can't answer that. Is the answer the Republican Party? Well, no. Is the answer, alt-right? No, I don't know. We don't need to be dating anybody. I think the black community needs to just go solo for a little while and date ourselves for a second. Like, we need to back away from capitalism and neoliberalism that we've been in a relationship with, and we need to date ourselves and do things like support our own black-owned businesses, right? Go to those markets, and that brother that's, on the corner that's selling the jerseys and the t-shirts, man, go buy some clothes from that guy. Right. And since we don't really have our own shoe stores and this, that, and the other, like, if you see a secondary person who sells shoes on their own, if you want to start going to more local places to buy your shoes and your food. I mean, we have restaurants. Black folks own restaurants. We literally can, especially in Atlanta, we can get into a relationship with ourselves instead of going to neoliberalism, right? We got to break up with neoliberalism, black people in America. I beg of you, I will spend time on this morning to explain to you why we need to back up from neoliberalism. I looked at some numbers, and since the year 1992, when the godfather of neoliberalism, Bill Clinton, was elected, our net income and our net worth as a black community has gone down drastically since 1992. We used to be more valuable than we are per capita when it comes down to the amount of money that we that we had in society. And when neoliberalism was implemented, now let me say something. Now neoliberalism replaced corporate fascism that was the Ronald Reagan era, Bush era, Wall Street first era, where they put literal crack cocaine into our neighborhood. So that was a toxic relationship. You know, it's funny. Black people have not been in a healthy relationship with America. And we just have not been, but we live here. So we can't necessarily break up with America. Marcus Garvey thought we could. And that's going to be a monumental task to get all of us to break up with America. But what we can do is break up with systems in America. And since the year 92, African Americans have lost net worth and capital. Since the year 2000, our average net worth was like somewhere around $200, and then now in 2021, we're like negative $1,200 per family. That's what black people are worth. And I start this off this morning because I keep seeing the gaslighting that happens. Neoliberalism will make black people think that you shouldn't talk about reparations. Meanwhile, neoliberalism will be mad at the Republicans for not recognizing the history of black folks in America. So, on one hand, neoliberalism will say, well, we don't need to, we need to fight against critical race theory. And then on the second hand, it's like, yeah, black folks, y'all don't need to fight against the critical race theory because, if you talk about it too much, y'all might start talking about reparations. We just want to say that we were slaves and move on. Good morning, y'all. I hope I'm making some noise right here. I hope my thought process is cutting through. I mean, listen, the toxic capitalism, because if you're spending money with black businesses, you are practicing within a capitalistic society. But toxic capitalism is what has hurt us relatively in a very bad way. And every time we have an opportunity to have a thriving capitalistic society in Black America, it gets burned down, i.e. Rosewood, i.e. Tulsa. So we have tried to go the neoliberal route before, and the toxicity of things tears us down. Neoliberalism will have you thinking that the family of George Floyd, when they talk about defunding and reforming the police department, that George Floyd really didn't happen. And what we need is better relationships with cops in the community. Neoliberalism will make you think that reforming police departments is your reparations. That's what you niggas get. You niggas get more cops and a smile. I'm going somewhere this morning. Because I'm just sick and tired of neoliberalism. Neoliberalism is more dangerous to the Black community than the Republican Party could ever be. Now, I want to say something to y'all. Neoliberalism is a tool that's implemented by the Democratic Party. And I think we get these things confused. And that might be one of the reasons why some of y'all get so pissed off with Black folks who are like, I want to change the party from within. But you got to understand something. The Democratic Party is just a vehicle. It's just a little machine with empty vessels that run it. The Democratic Party, believe it or not, is democratic. It's just that we ain't in it. And we haven't done enough to actually change it because a bunch of 80 to 50, 60-year-olds are the ones who are running the Democratic Party. And they want to keep that shit 1996, where they can live in a world where Bill Clinton could play the saxophone and all the black masses were taken care of. That is the current iteration of the Democratic Party, but that is not the Democratic Party. I dare y'all to fight me on this. The Democratic Party is just a vehicle itself. Neoliberalism within the Democratic Party is the thing that's doing damage to us. So they do pick and choose. They do cheat. The current Democratic Party does make sure that they do things like send resources to in a primary against Nina Turner in Ohio 11th, and rig primaries against progressive candidates, right? But that is not the Democratic Party itself. That is the neoliberalism that it currently runs the Democratic Party. Going here for a reason. I need y'all to follow me for a second. So I can understand people just backing away from the party completely. I completely understand that. Y'all ain't doing nothing for us. Those are the first people who broke up. But y'all broke up with a city instead of breaking up with a person within the city that's been toxic to you. Neoliberalism is what is toxic. And I'm not sitting up here trying to advocate for people to become Democrats. I don't want to do that, because I would never put my name on that. What I am doing is defending the people like Nina Turner and the people like some of these super progressives that are more progressive than anybody who watches this show, who are working within the Democratic Party, trying to get more people like me. And I got to apologize to a couple of them, because like y'all have asked me to come to Georgia Democratic meetings, and I'm like, nah, I'm good, because I'm looking at the neoliberalism of the Democratic Party. I'm not looking at the Democratic Party. I'm looking at the current power of the neoliberalism within it. And it has nothing good for Black people. They send out hitters. I'm gonna use a hood word. The Democratic Party got hitters, got goons, got assassins. And I say that in proverbial sense. The Democratic Party sends out their most powerful names that have relationships with Black communities, and Black communities have gotten satisfied with being able to having a certain select few that are successful, and then everybody else in the hood trying to make it. We have been conditioned. Black folks have been conditioned to just make it. Just day to day make it. Like, we're just making it every single day. And neoliberalism is perfectly fine by that. Like, We have added pressures. Like we want to keep the lights on. Nobody wants to give us a job. There's a criminal justice system that is against us. There's actually police officers against us. There is dope and drugs because we don't have the same kind of mental health care within black communities. There is everything against us, and neoliberalism has shepherded that shit as much as they say they haven't. They haven't done anything about it. And then I look at white America, man, and I'm not sitting here saying there are no poor white Americans because that would be all lies. I am not going to lie to you on Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap this morning. I refuse to do that. But we got to talk about it. The percentage of white folks that are in amazing houses and amazing neighborhoods is way higher. I heard numbers from anywhere from $60,000 to $100,000 is the average net worth of the average white family in America right now. When you're white and you're a millionaire, that ain't nothing. That ain't shit. And I go to some of these neighborhoods, man. Peachtree City, some neighborhoods by the beaches in Jacksonville, up in the hills in Beverly Hills. Like I've been to some amazing white neighborhoods in America. Palm Beach, right? I've been to these neighborhoods and all I see is white folks. And I wonder to myself, are we organically against this? No, because neoliberalism works out for them. These will be Democratic strongholds that won't ever vote for Trump. They'll vote for a Democrat, but they'll protect their interests and they'll protect the capitalism that they serve and that they're a part of in comparison to making sure that the classism of black folks is always at a lower level than white America. We gotta cut off neoliberalism. We gotta stop calling them. No late night texts and no booty calls either. That's a special election. Yeah, that's a special election. Booty calls for neoliberalism is those special elections where they tell us to show up in the middle of the year. Y'all can't get none. Y'all can't come through. Y'all can't get none. Don't send no flowers. We don't want nothing. And that's my spiel on neoliberalism this morning. We know we need to get a change because, to be honest with you, our definite conversations around surrounding African Americans within where we are financially, we don't have a political. What's going on with the screen, Tunde? Yeah, we don't have a party of our own unless we infiltrate it and actually change it to make it do things that we needed to do for our society. And now we're getting into the grandparenting age of neoliberalism. That means that people who were born in 91 and 92 are actually starting to be fucking grandparents right now. That means neoliberalism has gone 3 generations and it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. But until we stand up and we fight it, and we have true fighters like Nina Turner, and we have people who are willing to just talk about how we can actually get laws passed that benefit African Americans, because they will use us as a negotiation piece all the time, but we never use ourselves as that. I mean, listen, folks can get upset. I see folks are in the chat room. I'm starting y'all off. Y'all can get upset all y'all want to. I'm not, I mean, you can agree with me or disagree with me. I know this right here, we got to break up with neoliberalism because it's not working in the current form that we're in right now, no matter what happens, guys. And start calling out what neoliberalism actually looks like, because it's not a good thing. It's ugly for the black community, but they'll put a pretty black face up there that could talk like he's a pastor for 56 years down on Central and MLK. Get you to donate money to the church, get you to donate money to their party, and then you can't even get a prayer or a doggone tax break out of them. I said it. Let's get into the news real quick. Thank you for watching Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap again. I'm by myself. This is Marcus Farrell. You coming to you all the way live from Atlanta, Georgia on a Tuesday morning. I had to bring it to y'all real quick because, well, like we can't do things in a serious. And for those of you who say we don't have like solutions here at Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap, I just provided one of the most major solutions in American political history. Black folks breaking up with neoliberalism. A teen was accused of defacing a pro-police Black the Blue sign, and now she has been charged with a hate crime, according to the Washington Post. A sheriff's deputy was wrapping up a routine traffic stop in Utah gas station last week when he saw a teen take a Back the Blue sign, which urged support for police officers, and stomp on it after her friend was pulled over. Well done, kid. The teen, identified in court documents as 19-year-old Lauren Gibson, then accidentally crumbled it up in a destructive manner and threw it in the trash can. Garfield County Sheriff's Department Deputy Cree Carter wrote in an affidavit the officer who accused Gibson of allegedly smirking at him in an intimidating manner. How can you smirk in an intimidating manner? Arrested her. How can you smirk in an Tunde? How can you smirk in an intimidating manner?
I don't know. I guess I gotta ask these cops how that's actually done, because I can't even imagine. I don't even know what that looks like.
Oh.
Especially if you have like you're a cop, so you got like a gun, you got your fucking
he has a gun, a taser, a baton,
but he's intimidated by a smirk.
Yeah, she has a flag and a smirk, and she's going to jail. Now, in addition to disorderly conduct, Gibson has been charged with criminal mischief, with the hate crime with hate crime enhancement. The latter crime, county prosecutors allege, was committed with the intent to intimidate or terrorize the other person in violation of Utah's 2019 hate crime law. The misdemeanor carries a maximum of a 1-year sentence. Gibson told the Daily Beast that she indeed waved the Back the Blue sign at the deputy, stomped on it, threw it away, but I didn't feel like I did anything wrong, because you didn't, sister. If this was a dentist sign or something that I just crushed at a dental sign or something like that in front of him, like, nothing would have happened, she told the Daily Beast. It's the same thing. It's just an occupation. Lauren Gibson is the hero of the day. Sometimes heroes don't wear capes. Sometimes heroes just stomp on Back the Blue flags. And listen, man, okay, if you want to back the blue, fine. But the problem is, you see that Back the Blue flag has a thin blue line in it. Yeah, ever noticed? Like, listen, their imagery is right there in front of us for us to see. What they do, how they feel about American society is right there in front of us on that Back the Blue. It's an American flag with a tiny little thin blue line in it. I know y'all seen it before. If it wasn't such a fascist flag, I'd say it was a cool looking flag. And it's right there in front of us. They basically telling us that the thin blue line is the difference between them and every other American. I think that's a fair assessment of what that flag means. The thin blue line separates them from a black and dark gray America. A thin blue line. That means that they want to hold their secrets, not be accountable, don't tell on each other when there's bad cops, and just go ahead and change laws for themselves and change action for themselves, as police departments do every single day in our communities. Of course, not all cops, but the cops that, if you have a thin blue line, then if you have a Back the Blue flag, then you believe in the thin blue line. If you believe in the thin blue line and you're not actually acting by the Constitution, you really don't care about civil rights of human beings. You really don't care about, and listen, policing is a dangerous job, but so is being a person interacting with a police officer. That's more dangerous, because you don't know what the fuck is going on in that cop's head. He might be mad that somebody just stomped on his Back the Blue flag and want to shoot you. More news. People think you're a pedophile. Do we have a picture of this? Okay, we got a video of this. Matt Gaetz accidentally poses with a prankster for a beach photo. Should lighten up your mood. Representative Matt Gaetz was tricked into posing with internet prankster Walter Masterson, who pointed out that he's been accused of being a pedophile. The incident was said to have occurred on California Beach. Gaetz was with State Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene over the weekend. Video of the confrontation was shared on Twitter by MidasTouch.com. And the question is, like, really, why is a representative from Florida and Georgia over in California on official business? Mind y'all business. Both of y'all states got poverty in it, and y'all don't ever do anything about it. But run that video.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I mean, everyone thinks you're crazy. I don't think you're crazy. People think you're a pedophile. I don't think you're a pedophile at all. I don't think he's a pedophile at all. The charges against him are totally false. They're totally false. Oh my God.
You have to run that one back for me because I didn't get a chance to hear it, but it sure did look funny. Yo, listen. I like firefighters more than I like cops. I like firefighters more than I like police officers. I like real elected officials that actually do their job. I wish I could just list out. One day, maybe I should list out all the politicians that are actually doing their jobs, right? But shout out to that young brother for his amazing epic trolling of Matt. That's right, Coco. Epic trolling of Matt Gaetz. He deserves it every single time. Matt Gaetz got soft hands. I mean, it's good to have well manicured hands, but he got like extra soft baby hands. I met him in Tallahassee when he was a state representative or state senator. And I was like, who's this young guy with soft hands that hates every black person around him? Oh, it's Matt Gaetz. Frito-Lay workers are on strike for their lives. This is from Jacob and Mag. At the Frito-Lay production plant in Topeka, Kansas, workers are subjected to something called suicide shifts, in which they come in for 8 hours, forced to work four more hours, then call in for 4 hours early, leaving them with only 8 hours off between shifts. This is how the company forces overtime to the point where many of the workers say they work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, with some not even having a day off in 5 months, weekends included. What prompted the letter was the workers' willingness to speak out about anxiety that pervades their shop. One of the reasons that they are now on strike that is entering into its third week. Plant employees, some 850 workers have spoken out about the deleterious effects of inhumane working conditions. The company's latest proposed contract offers a mere 2% wage increase this year and caps the number of hours someone can be forced to work to 60 a week. And that's not nearly enough. Many workers make under $20 an hour, haven't seen a raise in a decade. The company prefers small bonuses that keep the pay scale from rising. Let's get into this. Man, I used to love me some Frito-Lay, man. That barbecue Frito-Lay. And some chili back when I was like eating like a fat boy every day. Oh my God, it was amazing. Looks like I can't eat no more of that shit. That's pretty much it. Yeah, Frito-Lay is off the Clickbaity preferred eating list from now on until they get their workers right. Like, y'all don't need to be eating Frito-Lay right now. That's crazy for the simple fact that how can you leave a family with only 8 hours to survive and live? You can't even sleep like that. Like, you can't even get your rest together accurately because you think about it, it probably takes you anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour to get home. Now you only got 7 hours left. Then you might have some kids. You might want to spend some time with them. That means you got 6 hours left. You might want to eat some food and cook some food. You definitely need to cook some food because you ain't going out nowhere. That's 5 hours left to sleep. You got anxiety and you're going crazy because you're thinking about how can I get paid more work, and this is crazy. So that's an hour right there. So now you're back at 4 hours before you even could think about getting sleep. You're stressed out, so you're probably only really going to get 3 hours of sleep. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you take a shower. That takes 1 hour away. So you basically get 2 hours of sleep before you're back at that fucking place again. That's crazy. This is toxic capitalism. And this should be one of the top things to talk about when it comes down to the Democratic Party and one of the biggest food processors, one of the biggest food makers in America, which, by the way, you can use your EBT card and get Frito-Lays, right? So that means that it is also getting government dollars. You're getting government dollars from tasty ass chips. Some tasty ass chips are getting government dollars from American people and not paying their people what they're worth. between shifts. And shout out to the organizers that said, nah, y'all can't have it. And any scab that crosses that line probably deserves to get hell raised on them. I ain't saying beat nobody up, but like, you can't fight against what they're asking for. This company proposed a 2% wage, and some people have not received a raise for that company in a decade. Meanwhile, what do we know for a fact that has gone up in the past decade? Gas, clothing, cars, rent, everything. These companies are so toxic to us. And today, would you move all the comments down so I can get to the latest comments on the Thank you, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, and also that's right, Positively Black CEO pay. Put that on the screen real quick for me. Most importantly, the thing that has gone up while everybody else's wages is going down and net worth is going down, CEO pay. Right now, at this very moment, I believe Jeff Bezos is in space. Hey, Jeff, if you're watching this, stay your ass up there. Just go sail off somewhere else. Start Amazon on the moon. But nah, because we're going to need the moon one day and we don't need you owning that. Man, how we let Bezos in space first, man? He going to scare the aliens away.
I mean, he is an alien, so I mean.
Oh yeah, he's gonna talk to him in a normal language. Bleep, blurt, bleep. That means all the brown people are your workers, and all the black people are your workers, and the white people are the people we need to take care of. And the alien's gonna be like, blurp. You suck, man. Because you can't get to space without having an equitable. Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this right here. You can't survive in space. And this is, I believe there has actually been work done on this, but you can't survive in space and you can't have an interstellar program without like intersectionality and without working with many different countries and many different cultures to come together. Like one rich money person is not going to be able to create the next space station, because when we get in space and the earth is all messed up, you know, you don't have enough people to actually keep folks from revolting on your ass on a private island called a spaceship. Yeah. Jeff Bezos is going to scare the aliens away. He needs to get it from up there real quick. More news. What we got here? Oh yeah. Let's go to this. Let's just play this video real quick. Tuna, you got that video? Did I share it with you earlier? Okay.
We're told that he died of colon cancer. Now, according to my two contacts in the federal government, Chadwick Boseman, through his autopsy, died of thallium arsenic poison. Okay? That's what he died of. That's the unofficial story. But the official story says that he died of colon cancer. Why was Chadwick Boseman a threat? Chadwick Boseman was a black conservative, like Kobe Bryant was, like Tiger Woods, like Dr. Dre, the music mogul, 50 Cent. They support President Trump. But any black man or woman in Hollywood who supports Trump, they're targeted for death, or even in the case of Tiger Woods, his legs were crushed because the Luciferian order wanted to take him out.
Hey, that guy has a bigger platform than us. This is the perfect time before we get into this. This is the perfect time for you to like, share, and support Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. So we can counteract all that BS, right? This is the perfect time to pass the hat around. We're going to pass the hat around. Y'all need to go ahead. If you're on YouTube right now, you need to go ahead and give us a super chat for what I'm about to do to this guy. Look, man. Look, man. First, let me just officially say that was a lie. That was a lie. And all of those people might have some conservative leanings, but it doesn't mean that they're like conservative in action. Plus, there's too many black folks who are more progressive and need them in their communities to actually call them out and say, "Hey, listen, bro, I understand that you can't support Trump in some factions and some circles." But let's get back to Chadwick Boseman. He might have been a conservative, but there's so much documented evidence that he was riddled with a cancer that slowly ate his body. Brother Boseman, if you looked at what he was nominated for the Academy Award for the jazz movie, I forgot the name of it. You could see that he was
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Black
Bottom, yeah.
Yep. You could see that his body was slowly deteriorating. He was skinny in that movie, right? We were he didn't let anybody know that he had it, while he was getting thrashed and beat up on social media for just becoming skinnier and skinnier. And he fought to the day he died. He fought cancer. Fuck cancer. Cancer sucks. So that's why I think this piece of shit that has delivered this kind of news right here, and especially about black conservatives, is even doing black conservatives wrong, because that man has a family. Black conservatives who, have common sense, even though I figure it's kind of hard to have common sense, don't deserve that. And more so the black community in general. It shows me how much you care about the black community when you lie about a hero and a virtual hero that has created himself to be a hero through our lifetimes. Like, we saw Chadwick Boseman go from like zero to like American hero status forever through our lifetimes in a fairly quick time. And he also, that shining star, burned out because of cancer at an early age, and we all miss him greatly. But why do we always have to take our heroes and say that the government took them out? And yes, we know that the government has taken out some folks, right? But like, for him to blame Joe Biden, or for him to blame a Democrat, or for him to blame a Democrat to kill Chadwick Boseman because he first off Marvel wouldn't let that happen. That's right. Disney, the evil empire, would probably has better security than the American government at this point. Are you serious? You capping?
Well, and not to cut in, but I mean, just like the most minimal amount of Google searches will show you that it would appear that Chadwick Boseman was indeed not a Republican, as we have up the picture right now of him and Kamala Harris, and talking about voting and things like that. So yeah, there are a number of things that this dude said that was that were just wild, and it's amazing to me how people can hear stuff like this and be like, "Yep, no, that's true, that's true," and it's just like, well, did you look into it? Did you, like? And then on top of that, like, what is it about like just being black and conservative that means, oh, we have to kill you? Like, what were these people doing supposedly that made it so, oh, we got to kill them? Like, there's, if they were Republicans, nobody actually knew they were Republicans. So what would they have to be killed for? Like, what is the thing?
Well, Tunde, you also got to understand that Chadwick Boseman was like, Chadwick was superhero status in our communities, man. He literally was superhero status by playing a superhero, and so many other. Brother played James Brown, Jackie Robinson. Like, the brother played so many just amazing, iconic roles while he was alive in a short period of time. And it's kind of like everybody wants to claim Martin Luther King right now, but when he was alive, they hated his guts, right? You want to claim Chadwick as a conservative because of whatever faction, probably because of his fame, but then and say that he was taken out. It's like you just want to really mess with the hero status and give white conservatives talking points. That's what this kind of stuff does. And what we got to be really careful of is these black grifters that show up out of nowhere and create these huge names for themselves by just saying the most outlandish shit about the black community to a white Fox News conservative kind of person, for that person to like just be blasted off. Like, you can see now that Fox News has finally figured out how to find the urban Negro, the urban looking Negro, the person that they would actually spend money on to make sure that police departments police, right? Like, and over police a brother like that right there. You see that more and more of the black talking heads that look like hood Negroes, man, look like hood black folks. Look like somebody that you would see on a corner or something like that. And they get on their little platform and they say all kinds of crazy crap, and then it gets repeated, and all of a sudden you have a brand new talking point, and they have something to back it up because look who said it. Look who said it. He said it. People are crazy, man. And I mean, yo, listen. Say what you want to about Tiger Woods. He probably is a conservative. Do you think Tiger Woods even said I took that corner too fast when my Q80 crashed into a truck and I broke my leg? Sheriff's Department said that wasn't somebody pressing the button saying we're going to take out Tiger. Nobody wants to take out Tiger Woods. Everybody wants to see Tiger Woods play golf, dummy. Woo, child. We got to figure out some things. It's 8:01. I'm about to get out of here, man. Yeah, I think I am. I don't think we went through everything. Oh, last one. Dipset and the Locks versus live battle announced. That's right. Dipset. And the Locks, man. The Locks, they got free from Puffy and became what they are. And the latest versus face-off has been announced. Dipset will face off against the Locks in their shared hometown of New York, August 3rd. Versus will be ticketed in-person event scheduled August 3rd at the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden in Manhattan. Like past events, the show will be streamed on Versus and Instagram as well as Triller. And the last thing I want to say is tonight is a possible elimination round for my team, my Phoenix Suns, against the Milwaukee Bucks. Man, listen, Giannis Antetokounmpo is a absolute beast. And that kid is like 26 years old. When he becomes 30 years old, he has a chance to be one of the greatest basketball players in the history of mankind if he gets a jump shot. But I still want the point guard, Chris Paul and Devin Booker, to pull it out. Devin Booker, you better step it up and stop missing all them shots. And Chris Paul, man, I don't know where the hell you been. You know what I mean? Because, if y'all don't get y'all act together, it's going to be game, set, match tonight. So go Suns. And for the folks who enjoy the Bucks, go Bucks. You've been watching Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. You can follow me, Marcus Farrell, on Marcus for America on Instagram and Twitter. You can also rock and roll with your boy at restorativeroots.net or Restorative Roots on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. Go follow Black Male Voter Project on all social media platforms and follow my partner in crime, Mondale Robinson. And I am Mondale or Mondale Robinson on all these social media platforms. Don't forget, you got a little time to give us a little capital cash. Give us $2, $5, $10. Anything will help. Our super chats are back up. And with that being said, thank you for watching Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. We'll see. Oh, one more announcement. Tomorrow at noon, I will be interviewing on this channel the family of George Floyd and also the George Floyd Foundation with my dear sister, Teslin Figueroa. We will be talking about what they're doing, what they got going on. It's going to be a special Clickbaity, thing. So we'll be rocking with the family of George. We'll be rocking with the family of George Floyd tomorrow at noon. Come and see us. And with that being said, peace out.
Trap squad, 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 trap squad. Hey, clickbaity political. Yeah, thirst trap, trap squad, squirrel squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let our voice be heard. Every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbaity. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad. Let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad, trap squad. Hey. Trap